Hello, hello, and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, welcome back to my revitalized Watch Talk series. I am going through yet another piece from my collection, a new piece. In fact, I've just remembered that I need to go and get the box and papers, so I'm going to click my fingers. Magic, look at that. So we've got the box, we've got an accessory here that I bought recently for the watch, and we've also got my Rapport watch stand. And if you don't know about Rapport, surely you would have heard of them by now. Amazing high-end British-made watch accessories. They make travel rolls, they make watch winders, they make watch boxes, and most recently, they make watch holders. Ideal for putting in your bedside table. I will leave a code below as well for you to get a discount exclusive for TGTV viewers as well. It's all very good. So let's start some unboxing then. Please ignore what's on my wrist. I've already done a video on this, and if you haven't seen the video on this, I advise you to go and look at the video on this. But we're here to talk today about my F.P Journe Elegante 48. Now, box and papers, quite a subdued affair, not very big, which I actually quite like. Contrasting with that you get with an RM or some of the other brands. This is it. This is literally the outer box. It's tiny, which suits me down to the ground because you end up having them lying around. You don't want to put them in your watch vault because you pay through the nose for those, and you don't really want them in your apartment either because it's just pointless. So quite cool though, quite nice finish. You've got velour on the outside, and then you have this little leather wallet here with your card on there, with a little chip on there. Quite difficult to counterfeit by the looks of it. They put some effort into that. And you also in here get your user manual on a USB, an F.P Journe user manual on a USB stick. I mean, I'm probably never going to look at that, but nice to know it's in there. It's in a little card holder, so you could take that out with you. That's cash. If you lose it, it's probably £1,000. Right, in here then, we have my watch. Now this was a hugely misunderstood and much maligned watch when it came out. A lot of people, when it came out, they thought, why on earth would I want that? And they thought F.P Journe had lost their minds. So, for a bit of background then on F.P Journe, F.P Journe was actually established in 1999 by Paul Journe, and that's actually the same year that Richard Mille actually started getting going as well. And he's a very interesting character, Mr. FPJ. He had a pretty unruly childhood, and then he somehow managed to kind of turn it around and become this amazing watchmaker. By 25, he'd actually made his first watch, which had no less than a tourbillon in it that he built himself. And I'll try and find a photo of that and put it on the screen. But really interesting character, and his background's really, really interesting. So if you have a few seconds, and I'm not going to go into here, although this video will turn into an hour, but a very smart, switched on chap with a huge vision for the watch industry. Fast forward, and his watch brand, although only producing 800 watches a year, which is nothing, they actually were acquired, 20% thereof, by Chanel in 2018. So the company's gone from strength to strength, and no one knows how much Chanel actually paid for that chunk of FPJ. But as you can tell, the company is going absolutely ballistic. And I really, really do think this brand, and I hate to use this phrase, but it is possibly the next Patek. This brand is one that is definitely going places, and those that are early adopters of particularly some of the earlier sovereign tourbillon pieces, their resonance pieces, those pieces have been astronomical. They are selling for an enormous amount. They're worth a huge amount. They're hugely sought after pieces. There are literally none of them. As I said, they're still only making 800 watches in total a year, which is nothing. I think RM are even producing about 5,000. And then obviously Rolex are producing sort of 50 million watches a year. So they're really difficult to get. And in fact, the UK dealer for F.P Journe has just gone under. They were a dealer in Mayfair called William & Son, who were basically distributing loads of kind of independent watch manufacturers. So Moser, Laurent Ferrier, F.P Journe, and I think one other lot maybe in there. But their account is gone. The shop's gone. They were selling all sorts of other stuff, not just these. But yeah, so you physically cannot buy one of these in the UK anymore. And in fact, I went into the Geneva boutique recently and I asked for the different cased version of this because I want both of them. And they basically laughed at me and told me to get out. I ended up being ripped off on a strap and then I left, but you physically cannot get these. They've got 150 people on the waiting list in the Geneva boutique alone for one of these, and each boutique gets 2 to 3 of them a year. So it will be discontinued long before they get anywhere near through those lists. And most cities in the world, most of them actually don't have a dealer for these, but in the few kind of major hubs that they do, like Paris, obviously Geneva, wherever, they've only got one dealer and they're completely oversubscribed. So this is borderline impossible to get hold of unless you go on Chrono24 and pay over twice the retail price. I think they're up to about 3 times the retail price now already, and nobody even knows about them. So once the mainstream cotton onto these and people realize these are kind of the next Nautilus, I think you'll see prices going a sort of 3-4 times over retail, which is bonkers. So let's get into the watch then. Let's talk about the watch. Let's stop talking about values because I know that annoys people. And we'll talk about why this is so interesting and why I just had to have one of these in my collection. And we'll also talk about when I got it and how much I paid. So the elephant in the room then. This is a quartz watch. That means it's battery run. It's not automatic. It's not manual. It's not traditional Swiss watchmaking inside these things. It's completely different. And some would say it's the same as what you get in like a Casio or a Timex. However, this brand, being this brand, they have done something completely outrageous with the quartz watch. They flipped it completely on its head and they've somehow managed to make it really, really desirable. So it's got its own caliber movement inside, the caliber 1210. This is F.P. Journe's quartz movement. You've got kind of red gold base plate in the back. It's beautifully, beautifully finished in the back with its engravings. And it's also got this really clever feature that means if you leave this on its side, just not moving for about half an hour or more, the watch will go to sleep. At the point at which you pick it back up again, the hands will find the correct time. Now, FPGA say that the battery will last 18 years in standby mode. So if you just leave it sitting around, you've got 18 years before the battery runs out. I don't know what the battery life is being worn fairly often. You've got this tiny micro rotor on the dial there with a cutaway that you can see, and that oscillating movement will tell the watch that it's been picked up and to get its act together and find the right time. It's really kind of hypnotic, watching the hands move and find the right time. How it knows what the time is, who knows? But it's a really fantastic piece of kit, and there isn't anything like it on the market. Other things that are different from usual F.P. Journes is the fact that it's got polished and brushed surfaces on the case. Most of the other model lines, in fact pretty much all of them, are polished cases only. This has got a very nice brushed finish on the front, and it's overall got a very, very expensive feel to it. It might just be a piece of titanium strapped to some rubber, but everything about it exudes quality. It's extremely lightweight, very, very comfortable to wear, and although it's called a 48, it actually wears a lot smaller. I was apprehensive about this. I thought, oh, 48, I don't know about that. It's a big old boy. Because this is a 48. And if you look at the size of them together, it absolutely dwarfs this. This is a really comfortable daily watch. You can wear it literally anywhere. It's water resistant enough that you could splash it and it'd be fine. I probably wouldn't take it in the sea though. It's a little bit too expensive, a little bit too nice for that. A little quirk with these as well, very early ones of these, the movement on the back, you can see a little heart on there. Some of them have a different symbol on there. The very early ones, I believe, have a different symbol on there, and apparently they're worth more, or they're going to be worth more, who knows, I don't know, but it's just like one of those little kind of really nerdy watch quirks. The buckle on there as well, you've got this deployment buckle, very stiff, very well made, and the rubber itself is lovely as well. In fact, as I said, I went to Geneva recently and I bought a new strap for it for my sins. To thank them for mugging me off trying to buy a watch, I thought, why not spend 400 quid on a piece of rubber? Although they gave me this travel case, which I was actually really happy. Ollie, do you like that?
It's lovely.
Travel case. Yeah. I got it with my strap. The lady in there was rather nice on me. She gave me it.
Very kind.
Yep. So they've got that. Travel around in, so matches the grey. However, I'm going to put this onto the orange when I get a spare second. I need to go into a boutique, or I actually don't know where we'd do it now, but you've got this orange strap here. It's got metal pins in the end of it, so it's not just a piece of rubber. I feel slightly vindicated that I spent 400 quid on it, but it just looks cool on the orange. So that's going to get moved across because I don't want two watches on grey rubber straps. It just seems a bit silly. Not that I wear them at the same time. That would be aggressive. So yeah, you've got orange. But what's cool about the Elegante 48 is the fact that they've got 1,000,001 different strap color choices. You can go navy blue, you can go white, you can go brown, you can go khaki green, which looks sick. Very, very interchangeable and relatively, I was going to say relatively low cost, but what I'm on about is 400 quid for a piece of rubber. That's not low cost at all. But you can change it depending on your outfit, depending on your mood, depending on the fact you're going on holiday or you want to wear it slightly more formal. It does mix up this watch a lot, and you can put it on black rubber as well, which works really nicely. Other finishes available, so you can also get this in a different case. You can get this in a titillate, which is titanium, which coated basically with this kind of black, almost ceramic stuff. And basically it's a blacked out, almost kind of grey case version of this. And that looks particularly good with the vibrant straps. I went for this finish because I believe that the titillate, if you knock it on something, you need to get the whole case completely refinished. And how you go about that, I just don't know. So black watches, they're a little bit scary. The kind of DLC, the coated watches, I kind of tend to err away from them if I can. I try and go ceramic or you know, just natural coloured, because if you do scratch them, I don't know how you sort that out. I really don't. It's supposed to be really tough, but put it this way, I don't want to find out the hard way on it. So there is another finish available, and I still do want it, but I wanted to get this one first and foremost. Desirability wise, I think these are probably slightly more sought after because the other one does look a little bit cheaper if you don't know what you're looking at. And I found it slightly harder to get this. That might have changed by the time this video goes out. Resale on them is about 25 grand, maybe 30 grand now for one of these. And retail was about 9.5, 10. I paid 10.5, so I paid a little over for it. And I actually bought it from a grey market dealer called Zanko Jewelers. I'll put their Instagram on the screen there or there or there or there somewhere, but make sure you go and check those guys out anyway. Huge thanks to the chap there for sorting me out with this. He's got some amazing pieces in stock, so make sure you do go and check out his Instagram. But a massive thank you, and I've since asked him for another one of these, but they're so hard to get. They're so hard to get. This is the new kind of impossible piece, and as I said at the beginning of the video, 800 pieces a year, and only a few of those are going to be these. So mad. And this one came out of the blue because it originally was a ladies watch, so there was a 40 version of this, and then it turned into the 48. We'll put Richard up here on my Rapport watch stand. Richard, sit there, mate. But again, really, if you get the chance, just try one of these on if you can somewhere. I mean, God only knows where you can find one to try on. But they wear so nicely. It's so comfortable. You don't even notice you're wearing it. It's a really hard combination, getting a lightweight watch that feels expensive as well. And somehow they've managed to do it. It's a little bit different. The whole dial is super luminova as well. So the whole disc glows. So visibility in the dark is amazing as well. I just think it's fantastic. I absolutely love this watch. It's very Marmite. Even when I bought it 4 months or so ago, I had a few people, even in the watch world, saying, what on earth are you doing? They are terrible. Because they were literally 10 grand like 4 months ago. And now suddenly people have realized this is the piece to have. You can go somewhere, no one else is going to be wearing it. You can wear it at a pool party, you can wear it with a suit. It's just the ultimate kind of go everywhere watch. It's brilliant, and it's a very rare, niche, independent brand. So cool watch, very happy with it, no intentions of getting rid of it. That can just sit in the collection now. It gets worn quite a lot, to be honest. Indeed, some of you have seen me wearing it on my videos every now and again, particularly my Carrera GT going around a track video, which nobody watched or cared about. So yeah, that's that. I think I'm going to end the video there. Hopefully that provided some insight into the latest piece in my collection. If you like these watch videos, please do let me know below in the comments. And of course, if you are looking for watch insurance, then please do hit up First Point. They insure all my watches, which is particularly pertinent in London at the moment because it is degenerating almost by the day. My advice would be, if you are insuring your watches, which you should do, I would get in touch with First Point and also just get a quote on all of your contents for your property or properties, and you'll be surprised. It does come out really cost effective. I was amazed. I thought they got it wrong. So yeah, do go and give them a shout. I definitely would get insured. I would get insured, and they might correct you, but I think you'd be able to get insured on market value on them as well, not just what you paid, because a lot of the time what you pay versus what they're worth, it's completely different things. So definitely well worth doing. On that boring note, thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe if you enjoy the watch videos. Of course, there's more automotive stuff on my channel than watches, but I'll be aiming to put one of these out every 3 to 4 weeks now. And I'll be going through a new piece from my collection, and then we're going to start interviewing people with watch collections. So stay tuned for all of that. And of course, I've now got my podcast as well, which I'll leave all the details for that below as well. And these lovely Rapport items, be it watch winders, watch rolls, there's a specific discount code for you below as well. So giving something back there on all fronts. Thank you very much. See you later.